What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. You read the title of the video. Today we are going over NBA free agents who played in the playoffs this year. Did their value rise or drop? Let's talk about it. As you can see, there's quite a hearty group of players here, and then we also have the tiers. Getting paid, less paid, still paid. He fucked it. Player option, will opt out. Player option, staying put. Team option, staying put. Or team option, he gone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are starting off with Jay Goody, Jordan Goodwin. He is an unrestricted free agent, and hey, I think he's going to get paid. I don't think it's going to be a ton of money. Now, obviously, if you go into the less paid but still paid category, it's in comparison to what you were making. Like, Jordan Goodwin's obviously not on the level of an Ayo Dosunmu or a player like that, but he's still going to get paid from the $1 million he made this season. Jordan Goodwin had an incredible year, a deflections king, hit his threes when needed. He was really good in Phoenix, had kind of a revitalization, the mask on and everything like that. Jordan Goodwin is a good ball player, and he deserves a lot more than $1 million, I'll say that much. Up next, we have Keon Ellis. The playoffs haven't necessarily been kind to him. He ran a little bit in game one against the Knicks. He had some run. He wasn't terrible, but he did suddenly check in when the run started. It felt like when Cleveland blew their 20-point lead. It wasn't Keon's fault, but there was this possession where the ball got passed to him. It was an ugly possession. Harden kind of jumped past it to him in the corner, and Keon fumbled it out of bounds. Not a great look, but people know what Keon Ellis is. He's a defender, and he can hit threes here and there. He's a guy that can give you 25 minutes, or if he's not working, you can give him 5 minutes, and it's just the same. He's a good guard defender. He hits his corner threes at a decent rate. I mean, that's a guy that's going to stick around the NBA. I do like Keon Ellis. I'm a fan of his game, even though, like, with the ball, he's not really that good. Like, he's not a guy that I trust to put the ball on the deck, dribble, play make, anything of the sort. But here's the thing. He's also another guy that is willing to come up and screen. More times than not, he's going to get the bad defender on him. You know, like the Knicks would put Brunson on him to kind of hide him. Keon's not afraid to go up and set that pick, so that way his man's still involved in the action. Is he a perfect basketball player? No. But does he deserve more than the $1.7 million he got paid this year? Probably, yeah. The CBA, I mean, the cap rules are going to kind of bend him over, unfortunately. Players like him are not going to get paid $10 million now. But, hey, man, it's still better than 1.7 what he gets this offseason. My boy, Walshy. Walshy is on a club option, and he's staying put. That's just where we're at. He's still on his rookie deal. He showed flashes this year. A good heart and hustle type of guy. A guy that will give you 15 minutes of just unrelenting defense and rebounding. And it's not the sexiest game. Sometimes he hits a three. A lot of the times he doesn't hit a three. He can go a full game scoring a 0. But what he does do well is guard damn near 1 through 5. I wouldn't say he's great on 5s, but like he handled Tyrese Maxey relatively well, the assignment in the playoffs, although my Celtics did lose. But it wasn't Walsh's fault. He played really good defense on Grimes, Maxey. He tried his damnedest. I mean, he's a hustle and heart type of player, an energy guy, and he fits that role relatively well. And he's on a team option. He's currently making $1.9 million, which is relatively inconsequential for the Boston Celtics and their payroll, so he'll be back. Jamal Shead is a restricted free agent, and he's going to get paid. I don't think he's going to get a ton of money. He's not a break-the-bank type of guy, but Jamal Shead is a damn good point guard in this league. Like, he gives me Davion Mitchell vibes, a guy that can pass a little bit, but is a good defender, has good size despite being a 6'1", 6'2 guy. I wouldn't estimate Jamal Shead to be in the 6'3 to 6'5 range. I'd say he's close to 6'2". He really is like a bulky, stocky guy that can hold up defensively, as well as hit threes, play make a little bit. I mean, like I said, he really just gives me like TJ McConnell vibes, but something of the sort. Just a quality either starting or backup point guard. If your team has Jamal Shead, you're in a good spot. If he's coming off the bench, you're in a good spot. If he's starting, you're still in a good spot. I think Toronto should look to re-sign him, obviously. They got to do some weird shit with their books because, let's be honest, Jakob Poeltl's contract is disgusting. RJ Barrett's contract is disgusting. Emmanuel Quickley's contract is disgusting. Yeah, RJ's a little bit better, but Quickley's and Poeltl's are disgusting. Shead deserves to get paid more than Poeltl and Emmanuel Quickley. So, hey, I like Jamal Shead a ton. I don't think he's going to get paid a lot of money. Like I said, he's not a break-the-bank type of guy, but Jamal Shead, in your starting lineup or off your bench, you're in a good spot. He's a quality-ass player. Colin Gillespie, you know what? Would I say getting paid is the option? I don't think I would. He's really good. He kind of reminds me, Colin Gillespie's closer to like a taller Peyton Pritchard type of guy, where he's going to get volume threes off. Like, he's going to get threes up in bunches. He's going to score a ton. He's going to look to score. I don't think he started in the playoffs. I think he lost his starting spot in the playoffs because the Thunder did a good job of exploiting him as a mid to not great defender. I'm pretty sure I remember them going Booker at the 1. Gillespie didn't play all that much in the playoffs. I mean, they only played 4 games, so it's not like he had the opportunity. But all around, he had a really good year. An 82-game sample, I don't know if he played all 82, but an 82-game sample of him being a good player will definitely get you paid. He hit over 40% from 3, I believe, on the year, was a double-digit scorer for the first time in his career, put up career highs across the board, minutes, points, rebounds, everything. 3-point volume, everything. Colin Gillespie had a really good year as a bomber from 3, and I think he's going to get paid. I mean, currently, $2.3 million, man. He could make upwards closer to 8, in my opinion. He's a really good player. Queta, team option, staying put. Pretty straightforward. He was the starting center this year, albeit in the first round against the Sixers, he was good for like 2 games. Max 2. The first 2 games he was pretty good, but Embiid really killed him. Embiid killed him consistently because Queta is a good player, and he knows he has shot blocking, timing, and everything, but the IQ still isn't really there. Stuff like staying down on Embiid pump fakes, something he didn't do very well. That was the big thing, is that he just hacked. The whole series, he was just a hack. He was constantly off the floor. Offensively, on the short roll, he's not always the best, but he can do it. He has good length, and he can jump a little bit, so he's a good dunker as well. It's just the mental part of the game that Queta struggles with. He is a good player still, and Boston, I mean, that's a good center right there. I think he's better as a backup rather than a starter, but in the position the Celtics are in, he did a good enough job during the regular season. Again, against Embiid, he didn't do well at all, but it's a different story. Embiid's an MVP candidate after all when he's healthy. All right, I added another row because before I go broke like Jock Landale, he will be rostered. I kind of had to add this as like he'll be around. Jock Landale's going to get signed. He shot the 3 well last year. Good backup 5-man. The Hawks could have really used him in the playoffs, obviously. They lack size. Jock had a really good little run with Atlanta before his injury. In Memphis, he was pretty good too. Again, he hit his threes at a respectable rate, and he's always been kind of a hustle guy on the defensive end. He's not really a great rim protector, but he does a decent enough job. He's not really that good of a defender. I don't want to gas him up, but he will be rostered. He'll be a third center somewhere, maybe a backup. Who knows? But if he's coming off your bench, that's not a bad spot. Jock Landale can he can hoop. He can hoop. I think he had like a 6-3 game in his first game with Atlanta. He was going crazy. Will be rostered. These guys above him, actually, I'm going to move Keon down because Keon in the playoffs hasn't been all that great. But the rest of these guys are going to get paid probably more than Jock and Keon will, even though they both, I mean, I respect both Jock and Keon. They're both good players. It's just kind of I don't think someone's going to break out $8-10 million for them like maybe these guys do up top. Like Bones can go in the less paid, still paid category. He had good run in the playoffs. He was a legit good feature player for Minnesota, kind of revitalized and revived his career a little bit. Was a guy that again made all rookie team in Denver, completely fell out of basketball, it felt like. Now he's back, and he's a little bit bigger, more muscular. He holds up a little bit better, and he creates chaos, which is something that the Timberwolves really wanted. Him and Ayo did a really good job at just creating chaos. Whether it's getting out on the break, hitting open threes. I think I remember him stealing like an inbound pass in the first round series. Like, Bones Highland, I was going to call him Nishad. Nobody calls him Nishan Highland. Bones Highland had a really good year, kind of revived his career. And considering he's only getting paid $2.5 million, I think he's going to get paid a little bit more considering he was like a legit feature player for the Timberwolves and wasn't that bad. Peyton Watson's a restricted free agent. So he's going to go in team option, he gone, kind of. I know it's not a team option. He's just hitting restricted free agency. But I don't think he's really going to stay unless the Nuggets can work out trades to free up money. At the current financial situation they're at, paying Aaron Gordon money, paying Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic money, Cam Johnson's got a contract. They're paying guys. And Peyton Watson might be one of those guys. Oh, God, don't even get me started on Christian Brown's contract. I almost forgot about him. Peyton Watson needs a bag. I don't know if the Nuggets are going to be the team to give it to him. I actually really doubt it because of their current financial situation. They would have to work out a deal to get rid of a Jamal or somehow dump that Christian Brown deal in order to really get Peyton Watson back in the door. Yes, they have his bird rights, but I doubt they want to go over the second apron for a team that just lost in the first fucking round. Peyton Watson didn't play in the playoffs this year, though, I don't think he worked back. He might have for one game. I don't remember him much in the playoffs. I'll say that much if he did play. He had a really good regular season, though, when he was healthy. Just struggled with health toward the end of the season. I think Peyton Watson is gone unless Denver can free up money. That's pretty much it's almost a guarantee at this point that he's gone. So much so that I'm seeing fan bases mocking trades, kind of a sign and trade deal. Maybe they do it, but either way, I don't think he's going to be there next year. He needs money. Denver doesn't have a lot of money. 2 + 2 = 4. You get what I'm saying? Mamu's got a player option. I think he should opt out. Personally, I know I'm not his agent, but he had a really good year playing a backup 5-man spot, a small ball 5-man. He's like 6'8", dude. He hit a lot of threes. He could take people off the dribble and attack closeouts. He is smooth with the left hand. Mamu had a really big year in Toronto. Maybe he loves Canada and he'll opt back in, considering it's for like $2.5 million. But I think Mamu can make more than $2.5 million. Teams would love to have a small ball 5-man. He's a guy that can help in the small ball lineups. And he spaces the floor, obviously. He hits his threes. And like I said, he attacks closeouts really well. Mamu is a really good player. And he had some moments in the playoffs where he wasn't great. He had some other moments where he was pretty good. I really like Sandro Mamukelashvili. I just have to flex that I can say it. Mamu is super smooth with the lefty. A release. He has a slower release, though. I don't know. It's a little bit slower. But either way, a backup 5-man that's like 6'8", holds up well, and can space the floor. Teams are going to be wanting that. I think I would opt out if I was him, and if I was his agent, I would also advise him to opt out. Next year's money doesn't compare to the money he could be getting from another team. My guy, Wu. Javonte Green didn't play a ton in the playoffs. I don't recall. Like, he was in, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't a guy that was like a big feature or big factor. Honestly, B-ball Paul Reed was much more of a factor than Wu was in the playoffs. I think he'll be rostered, though. He's in that Jock Landale, Keon Ellis area of player where it's like, he might not get $5 million next year. Currently, I mean, this year he played for $2.9 million. I don't know if he'll get more than that. He's like a $3 million to $4 million type of guy. If he does leave Detroit, it'll be for more money somewhere else. He's probably another one-year deal. He's a guy that can never find a consistent home, but is always a quality role player. A lot of teams would like to have a Javonte Green. He just doesn't stay in one place. I don't know. One of those guys that doesn't have a true home, but has been quality no matter where he's gone. Javonte Green will be rostered somewhere. Champagne's got a team option. He's staying put. Really good year. Starter on a conference finals team. Like, he hits his threes at a good enough clip. He's a good defender as well. Champagne has checked the boxes of a 3-and-D guy that you really want. Currently, he's making $3 million flat. I don't know if he's going to be making more than that next year. The team option, though, it will be picked up. He'll be back with the Spurs. Had a really good year. A breakout, I would say. A breakout season from Julian Champagnie. Spurs fans love him, too. I think they're really big fans. I know in Game 1 of the last series against Minnesota, he had a really good look. He just missed it. Unfortunate. But I don't think that one miss outweighs the 82 games and the playoff games of him being just super rock solid in the starting lineup every day. He does his damn job, and that's what every team needs, a couple of glue guys that just do their damn job. Landry Shamet, listen, he could get a long-term deal. In Game 1, all right, I can talk about Game 1 of the Knicks series now that I'm talking about a Knicks player. I can segue it perfectly. Game 1, Landry Shamet hit multiple big threes. There was one that hit the rim about 4 times and went in. He had one at the end of the fourth quarter. Like, Landry Shamet was drilling threes, and he helped them win Game 1. He really did. Feels like when he's hitting his threes, the Knicks are a different level of team. Obviously, it all started with Brunson yesterday, and once Brunson started getting off in the fourth quarter, it was an avalanche, you know. But Landry Shamet finding that open three, hitting the open corner threes, finding space on the three-point line to sit and snipe. Like, there's value to a player like that. I don't know if it's going to be with the Knicks. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be with the Knicks. He's making $3 million this year. I think he will be rostered. He'll be on a team next year. I'm not the biggest Landry Shamet guy. Not really. Not the biggest Landry Shamet guy myself. But he hit some threes in the playoffs. He's done a really good job. He's been solid defensively. So much so that they subbed him in for a defensive possession in the Atlanta series at the end of a game. But he'll be on a team. Landry Shamet will be poking around next season. I'll almost guarantee it, to be honest with you. Move on to Bruce Brown, who will also be rostered. He's all right. The epitome of just all right at this point in his career. He's not going to go back to like the 2023, I think it was, peak that he had in the championship run. I don't think that's there anymore. but he still hits the floaters in the lane. He takes his threes when he's open, even though he's not the best shooter. And he's an active defender, too. Brucey B will be poking his head around. This is Dom Barlow. Let me see. Is Dom Barlow on an option? Yeah, Dom Barlow's on a team option. I'll put him in staying put. He had a really good year this year. Kind of a really like coming out party for him. I think he started like 50 some odd games this year. He's an energy guy, has some fun dunks here and there. He has some hops. He kind of reminds me of like a shorter Jackson Hayes type of player, I guess. Even though he has less hops than Jackson Hayes, I would say. I don't know, he just kind of reminds me of him. But he's more of a 4, Dom Barlow. He's more of a power forward than a center type, even though offensively he doesn't really shoot the ball from 3 very well, or if at all. I like Dom Barlow, though. I think he's a legitimately good basketball player who will be in this league for a little while longer, at least. And another year in Philadelphia sounds about right. He's only making $3.4 million. I know that Philly's got to make some free agent decisions, but Dom Barlow, considering they haven't had a power forward in a long time, like a quality power forward, Dom Barlow has done a good job filling in. Josh Okogie just finds a way to get on a roster. Every year he does it. I don't know how. He hits threes at a fine rate. He's a respectable defender. Thank God he shaved his head. I don't say that very often, but some guys need to go bald, and he was one of them, and he did. So shout out to him. I don't mind Josh Okogie. He's not my favorite player ever, obviously, but he's a quality one at that. He can poke around a roster. Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes, I think, off this season, listen, I don't know if he's going to get a multi-year deal, but when he is on a team with a guy like a ball handler that can throw lobs, let's say he's the backup center for the Pistons next year or something like that, he'll be a good value player. He just needs a guy that can find him and throw lobs, an elite playmaker, basically. And he spikes shots. I mean, he blocks shots. That's just what he does. He's relatively switchable as well. He's quick. I mean, he has the feet. The unfortunate part is that he also has the hands, too. I will not elaborate any further by Jackson Hayes having the hands. Before I talk more about Jackson Hayes' hands, I'm going to move on to Tim Hardaway Jr., who is currently going to be an unrestricted free agent. And I think, honestly, he's going to be rostered next year just because he's older. He's a vet. Like, he's like 35 now, I think. 34. He's a little bit older, but he had a really good year. He shot 40% from 3 with Denver for the first time in years. He shot 40% from 3. I wouldn't mind seeing him around Denver again. Nuggets fans, let me know down in the comments. Tim Hardaway Jr., you want him back or not? Jordan Clarkson, same boat, dude. He will be rostered. I don't know by who. He's a little bit older. Jordan Clarkson's currently 34, going on to 34 by next season. He's not a bad player. I mean, he's a guy that can come off the bench and score. Ben Stiller wore his shirt at Game 1 of the conference finals. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Ben Stiller had a Jordan Clarkson shirt on sitting front row. But JC is a flamethrower. He lives by his nickname. He gets buckets, and if he's not scoring, you take him out of the fucking game immediately. If he can score and he's getting you 15 plus, you're in a really good spot. But if he comes in and he's 0 for 5, let him sit. He can chill for a little while. Dennis Jenkins. Paid. You know what? Should I move him up? No, he's got a club option. He has a club option? Shit, then he's staying put. Yeah, he's going to be there. He should be getting paid off these playoffs. He had some really big games, and he was the only other like real ball handler I trusted outside of Cade Cunningham with Detroit. Obviously, Toby had some big games, but Dennis was the only one I really trusted to run that high screen and roll and make it work. He had some good scoring games. He had some good assisting games. Dennis is a good backup point guard. Like, he is rock solid. He can score. He's quick. I like Dennis Jenkins a lot. I think he'll be staying put in Detroit, and I think Detroit should at least give him a little bit more. Pay him. Pay the man. Tari Eason. He's a restricted free agent. Did his regular season fuck it? I don't know. I don't know where to put Tari Eason. I'm going to put him in he fucked it. Hold on. Let me see how he shot in the playoffs. I mean, he averaged 14 a game in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. His regular season was very up, very down, very up the beginning part of the season where he was like a 45, 50% three-point shooter. Obviously, you expect regression when a guy's shooting that good of a percentage, but the way it tapered off, I mean, he went 0 for 28, I think it was, for a stretch. He was really rough to watch. The end of the regular season wasn't kind to him. He goes into the playoffs, he averaged like 13, 14 a game, 2.5 steals a game as well. I know their team did not look great in the playoffs, but Tari had some individually decent games. 33% from 3 in the playoffs. It's not great, but only a 4-game sample, 5-game sample. I don't know if he's going to get paid, but I think there's a real argument for Tari Eason to get a contract. I don't know if it'll be sign and trade. It might be sign and trade because Houston has a bunch of money tied up. But Tari Eason will be getting paid by somebody this offseason just because 3-and-D role players who have that reputation like he does. I mean, 2.5 steals per game in the playoffs is not bad. That's actually pretty damn good. Mark Williams, I think he can get paid. He's a restricted free agent. I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys where like some team just gives him a blank check, and it's basically a trap for Phoenix to like match it. He could be one of those guys. There's another one of those guys later in this list. But Mark Williams had a pretty good year. Lob threat, block shots, set screens. He is a very prototypical big man for the era that we are in, where it's just lob threats and guys that block shots. I like Mark Williams a lot. He had a good year in Phoenix, so I think he'll get paid a little bit by Phoenix, specifically by Phoenix. Alvarado has a player option for $4.5 million. I think he'll stay put. I think he will. He is a New Yorker that got traded back to New York. He's in the conference finals, having the time of his life. He's played relatively well in the playoffs. Maybe he opts out because he wants more money, but if he wants more money, that means he's going to be leaving New York, which I don't know if that's what he wants. So maybe he opts in, does one last ride with the Knicks, and basically says, hey, if we don't win the championship this year, we'll do one more type of thing. Jose Alvarado, since he's joined the Knicks, has been up and down. His threes have been spotty, but the defense is always there, the effort's always there, the hustle's always there, and Knicks fans always appreciate a little bit of hustle and effort out of a guy, a little dirty work type of guy, and that's what Alvarado does. He provides the dirty work. Jalen Duren. I mean, is there a bigger example of he fucked the bag than Jalen Duren? I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It's been beaten into the dirt. I mean, he has been dragged through the mud for the last 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now, month. You know, he deserves it, though. He deserves being dragged through the mud. He played like dog shit in the playoffs. He was atrocious. And it doesn't help that Beef Stew wasn't that great either in some stretches. B-Ball Paul was their best center, Paul Reed. That's just inexcusable. There's no way he can go into that meeting with any form of leverage. And that's the guy that I was alluding to earlier when I talked about Mark Williams, where I said, he has no leverage in negotiations, but will some team just blindly say, blank check Jalen Duren and force the Pistons to give him a bag? I think that's the Pistons' biggest fear, is a team like, I don't know who has money that can spend it. The Kings don't have money that they can spend, but a team that needs center play that can spend money throws a bag at Jalen Duren and it forces Detroit to match it. That would be worst case scenario. Because the alternative is you just lose him for nothing, and that's also a bad scenario. I like Jalen Duren. It's just the playoffs were not nice to the guy. Like, he was just not great. He was getting worked down low. Like, he was a guy all season that was like shoulder into your chest, bruiser mentality, and then he goes into the playoffs, and it's like, now he's the one getting the shoulder put into his chest, and he looks like the punk. I don't know. I don't like how he looked. I know he went out sad. I think him and Detroit's still a good thing. Like, I think him and Cade can work well together, but maybe it's a Jared Allen situation where the lights were too bright this season, being the 1 seed and having expectations. Maybe, next time they go back, he'll be ready for the expectations and he'll rise to the challenge. But altogether, that's back-to-back playoff series or back-to-back years in the playoffs where he just hasn't looked right. And he fucked the bag. It's gone. Andre Drummond's a UFA. I don't know if he's going to be staying with I'm going to move down now for this. I don't know if he's going to be staying with the Sixers, but he'll be poking around the league. Andre Drummond's a quality backup center, quality backup 5-man, although he does do some goober shit. He does some goober shit, but he's making them corner threes now, and that's a development I never saw coming. So props to you, Big Drum. Marcus Smart, he's a player option guy. Player option, $5 million. I think he'll opt in. He had a really good year, and the Lakers wanted him. Like, he wasn't a guy where it was like last day of training camp, we need to fill out the roster. No, it was the Lakers went out and Luka Doncic wanted him there. Albeit his age is a factor. He's 32 years old and a guy who takes more floor bumps than a WWE wrestler. So there's always a little bit of a risk there with injuries and such like that. But he played super good this year. He was like their only perimeter defender outside of like Vando, so I think the Lakers should want him back. There's moments where Marcus Smart can legitimately help and bail out your offense. He did it a lot in the Rockets series with his playmaking or just his shooting. Up next, we got my boy Dean Wade. Dean Wade, I was ready to, so I'm gonna start doing post game recaps. I was going through some hard times in my life. I wasn't able to do post game recaps. Now I am. Last night in my notes for the Knicks game, I wrote Dean Wade is doing a terrific job on Jalen Brunson. The book on Brunson has always been put size on him and try and bother him with just putting length. Dean Wade was doing a really good job on him yesterday until they just decided let's abuse James Harden in the PNR, and that worked. But Dean Wade was playing really good defense. He had 10 points, a couple of boards, an all-around good game. He's a guy that can put up straight-up bagels across the board, which he has before. In these playoffs, he's had I think he had 25 minutes, 0 points in Game 6 last series or something like that. Dean Wade is an odd player, but I think he's a guy that can poke his way around the league. He can hit his threes respectably well. He has size, and he does some hustle stuff, rebound the ball, can play the 4. I don't mind Dean Wade. I think a couple of teams would like having him around. Ayton. I think some teams still willing to bite the bullet. I think there's a team that's still willing to jump. Call me crazy. I think there's still a team that's willing to jump at DeAndre Ayton. I'm not the biggest fan of him in the playoffs, especially in the second round against the Thunder. He was getting punked, straight up thrown around. But at the same time, round 1, he looked pretty charged up. End of the regular season, he looked pretty good. He goes through stretches where he's locked in. He goes through stretches where he's in his mind too much and he's not doing a fucking thing. There's a mixture of both, but I still think DeAndre Ayton's one of those guys where some random team, Dallas, Utah, some shit like that, will be like, yeah, we can fix him. You can't fix him. This is who he is. But I think some team is willing to go goober enough to pay him, even though this season was super roller coaster-ish for DeAndre Ayton. Started off well, went bad. I'm not Clint Capella. I ain't no Clint Capella. Everything like that. And then he goes out there and he beats Clint Capella in the playoffs. Wild season for DeAndre Ayton. I still think a team is willing to pay him, though. I'm not saying I agree with them paying him, but I just think there is a team that will. Yo, getting paid. Yeah. When you have a playoffs like he did, you deserve a little bit of a bag. Probably not in Minnesota, which is tough. But, hey, man, he's going to be around somewhere, and he's going to be getting paid a good amount of money. He's great in transition, a good defender, hits his open threes. He is so good in transition. Off a miss, he is just attacking downhill, and he finishes well around the rim. I love everything Ayo Dosunmu does. I'm a big fan of him. The first one in the getting paid category, if you guys noticed that. That's pretty fun, and he deserves it. He deserves every cent he's about to get paid. What I will say is, for Minnesota Timberwolves fans out there, this is the shittiest part because now Tim Connolly looks like a jackass. I'm not saying it was a bad trade to trade for Ayo. It was a really good move. But if Ayo ends up leaving, which means they probably couldn't formulate a trade for Randall, the salary dump Randall. If Ayo ends up leaving, this is a very bad time for Minnesota because Tim Connolly was supposed to be drafting the next good ball handler to play the next Anthony Edwards. And it was supposed to be Rob Dillingham. And that was busted. He traded a pick to move up in that draft, I believe, and it busted. Rob Dillingham is a terrible basketball player right now, and he's not even on the team anymore because they used Rob Dillingham to go trade for Ayo Dosunmu. So basically, they traded that first-round pick to move up. They traded Rob Dillingham. They traded Leonard Miller, who looks like a decent player in Chicago, for Ayo Dosunmu, who albeit did play really well in the playoffs, but he's going to be gone. Alternatively, if Rob Dillingham works out, they never have to trade for fucking Ayo Dosunmu. Make with that what you must, but they never have to trade for Ayo Dosunmu. They still have Rob Dillingham under contract. This is all assuming Rob Dillingham was a good basketball player, which he's just not. It's just tough for Tim Connolly because it's the ultimate bite-the-bullet move. You know, they're probably going to end up losing Ayo if some team throws a big bag at him. It's tough, but that's the circle of life, kid. Kelly Oubre is going to get paid. He played really well in the playoffs. He defended Tatum and Brown super high level in the first round series. Second round, he played really well on Brunson, of course, but Brunson worked the switches and everything like that. Kelly Oubre is a solid player. He's a great cutter. Such great timing, especially when doubles were coming for Embiid and stuff like that. He knew when to find the dunker spot and just get free points. He abused the Celtics on the dunker spot, like just backdoor cuts. He was abusing teams with the cuts. Quentin Grimes, I've thought he was going to get paid last offseason and he didn't. I think the league is moving away from that short guard who can't really do anything but score mold, unfortunately. Quentin Grimes had a really up and down season. The last month of the regular season, he was pitiful, I'll say. But in the playoffs, he had some good games, some bad games. He'll be around, and good thing I added this tier of will be rostered, because there's a lot of guys where it's like they aren't going to get a ton of money. Quentin Grimes probably isn't going to get $15 million a year, but he will be getting paid like $8, somewhere around there. How much is he making currently? He's making 8.7. So yeah, he can make that around that again. I forgot Ayton's on a player option. That is my mistake, fellas. Player option, I'm thinking he's going to end up, I think he'll opt out. I think he's going to end up opting out, because DeAndre Ayton seems like a guy with poor optics, with the dominating chain, posting that, oh God. But he seems like the type of guy that will definitely say I can get more than that, and he can't. So I don't know. That's my mistake saying DeAndre Ayton was a UFA when he wasn't. My bad. Maxi Kleber, he'll be rostered. I don't even know why I put him here. But he had some moments where he was their best center, which is alarming. When Jackson Hayes was down, Dominate was playing bad. Maxi Kleber wasn't bad. Maxi Kleber, coming off that major injury, he's obviously not the same. But maybe after another year, another offseason, more rehab, he can become that player he once was in Dallas. That was a quality backup center. I like Maxi Kleber, a good small ball 5 that can guard kind of 1 through 5. At least he could when he was good. So who knows? Maybe Maxi Kleber ends up getting a bag somewhere. As we move on to Luke Kennard, who will be getting paid. A 3-point sniper who can play make a little bit, had some big games in the playoffs, albeit against the Thunder. He wasn't that great, but the Thunder are just that good defensively that they can wipe him out. I'll be the person to say it. I wasn't the biggest fan of Luke Kennard to the Lakers when it happened, but it worked out really well. Gabe Vincent is legitimately bad. I don't know who's going to sign him this offseason. Currently making $11 million. He's not going to get that next season. I'll guarantee you that much. I'm not a big Gabe Vincent guy. Didn't get a ton of playing time in the playoffs. I don't remember him playing a lot. I don't know if he's going to be in the league. He might. He'll probably poke around somewhere, but I don't know. I think a guy like Dean Wade, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Okogie have a better chance of getting signed this offseason than Gabe Vincent. Thibault, he'll be rostered. Defense pays. If you're an elite defender, you can probably get a contract somewhere. Not sure where, but somewhere. Also, he hit his threes, kinda. So there's some value in that. As we move on to Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner is currently on. Wagner's a UFA. He'll be around. Whether he stays in Orlando, I'm not sure. He likes being with his brother, and I can't blame him for that. Whether it's in Orlando or not, I'm not sure. But Mo Wagner is a good backup center. Good second big, good third big. Energy, can score in the post a little bit. Decent defender. Is a little bit dirty. I'll just come right out and say it. I think Mo Wagner's a dirty basketball player at times. But, hey, man, energy, third big man, sign me up. Robert Williams. I think he'll get less paid, but still paid. I was thinking about putting him in get paid, but the injury history is going to keep him away from getting another $15 million or something like that. You know what I mean? He might not even get double digits just because of injury concerns. But when he's on the floor, dude, he hit a corner 3 in the playoff series. He had a fucking 3. That's nuts. He is a good basketball player. Robert Williams is a very good basketball player when he's on the floor. That's the only kicker, though, when he's on the floor. Getting low, Mitchell Robinson. Less paid, still paid. Offensive rebounding pays, although he is like 13, I think he's like 14 of 27, or 14 of 32, 33 from the free throw line in the playoffs. In the playoffs. That's hideous. He can't buy a free throw. We know that. But offensive rebounding is really good. He gives energy. He's a good paint protector, good rim protector. Mitchell Robinson is a good basketball player outside of free throws. And I get it, that's a huge part of the game, and Hack-a-Mitch is a minor part of the game as well. That can end up being a big downside. But that offensive rebounding, man, his ability to get you 4 offensive rebounds a game in like 20 minutes of PT, that's valuable, man. And just the putbacks and everything like that. Mitch has like not many other skills other than rebound and defense, but that pays in the modern NBA. Austin Reeves has a player option. He's opting out 100%. It's only $13 million. It's just tough because he was not great in the playoffs. Do I want to say he's a playoff dropper because the last playoffs he wasn't great either? I don't want to just outright say that because I think Austin Reeves is a quality basketball player still. But you have to question it. Obviously, coming off the injury this year, there wasn't much ramp up. It was like playoffs, go. Play 110%, and he's coming off an injury. I don't want to kill him for it. But at the same time, $13 million is just kind of low for Austin Reeves. I think some team is willing to throw a bag at him whether you like it or not. The playoffs weren't kind to him, but again, coming off an injury, I don't want to say for certain that like he's a terrible playoff basketball player off of this series alone. I kind of have to see at least one more season of it. Huerter's going to get signed. Shooting pays. Plus, Shenenda Hoa graduate, bro. I fuck with Kevin Huerter. That's my dog. So Kevin Huerter better be sticking around the league. White chocolate, red velvet, whatever you want to call him. Red velvet's the typical nickname. But there's another one that I heard for him that I've been trying to, I can't remember what it is. But Lu Dort, club option, team option. I think he's gone. I think they need to start making money moves. $16.5 million for Lu Dort when he's a very hit or miss player. The defensive effort's always there, but the threes that scrape the fucking ceiling, they do, and they don't go in a lot. A lot, actually. He had a very bad shooting season, actually a career low, I think. I still think Lu Dort's a quality basketball player, but I just question if the Thunder want to keep him when they know they're going to have to pay some other guys down the line. Hartenstein's also on this list. I think Lu Dort's a guy that like they might have to bite the bullet and get rid of. It's not what OKC fans want, but when you got to start penny pinching and making these moves to keep the core players of this roster intact, Lu Dort feels like he might be on the way out, especially with how badly he shot the ball this season. Rui going to get paid. I'm not sure how much I like it because he is kind of a one-way player, kind of a cone defensively, albeit. But he hit like 60% of his threes, and he can step in and hit the mid-range. Offensively, there isn't many shots Rui Hachimura can't hit. Defensively, he's not great. But, again, shot making, ball handling a little bit, like he could score in the mid-range, he can score from three. His value is there, and he shot so well in the playoffs, some team is going to remember the highs of that and probably pay him. You know, you shoot 60% from three in the playoffs, you're really doing a good job at helping yourself in the offseason if you're a free agent. H. Bizzle, if he wants to keep playing, he will be rostered. He's about to be 34 years old. He will be rostered if he wants to keep playing. The veteran leadership, Black Falcon is that guy. H. Bizzle, he can hit the corner three still. He can play a little bit of defense. Remember, he used to be super athletic coming out of college. He was so special. It's wild how he's just kind of stuck around the NBA. I don't know if he's going to be making $18 million ever again, but he will be rostered. Kuminga as a club option, I think he'll stay because he had some good run with the Hawks last year. I think the Hawks want to give him a little bit more of a runway to basically say, hey, man, let's see what you got. And next year would be a good time for that, especially with how they play with this pace, speed type of team. They get up and down, they score in transition a lot, and Kuminga strives in that. Not a terrible defender. He was at one point, but he can be a little bit active. They had him playing small ball 5, obviously, because they didn't have Jock Landale, which is a tough spot for him. But he is not, he's not that bad, I guess. Is he worth the $23 million he's going to be making next year? I don't know about that one. But like I said, the Hawks probably want to give him a little bit more of a runway, considering he only got half a season plus playoffs with them, and it was not a bad run. Vooch, get this motherfucker away from Boston. Stop. He got benched in Game 7 because he was fucking pitiful. He was bad. All around bad. I'm good on Nikola Vucevic. If the Boston Celtics can't hide you defensively, you're fucking up. Because they're able to hide Peyton Pritchard pretty well, even though he's not the greatest defender. It's just because he's small, not because he's like not active or anything. But the Celtics can hide bad defenders. They've been doing it for a long time. Isaiah Thomas, them years back. Vucevic was just purely bad at everything he did. I don't want to see him ever again in a green jersey. I'm good, bro. Fred VanVleet, player option, staying put. He got hurt last year, and he's not going to be, if he opts out, he's probably not going to be making more than $25 million that he's making next season. He's not going to make more than that coming off this injury, and I think the Houston Rockets want to run it back with Freddie and see if that core can do something with a stable point guard at the top, and Freddie's that guy. I don't mind Freddie. I think he should stay. Tobias Harris is an unrestricted free agent. He had a really decent playoff run. I don't know who's going to pay him, but he's gonna. I just do. He had a stretch where it was like, 6 straight games with 20+. He was rolling. Of course, Game 7, he wasn't great. He was not good. But he helped carry them for a while when it was clear that their offense was sputtering without him. Again, I'm not sure who's going to break the bank for Toby, considering he is 34, going on to his age 34 season. Maybe I move him down one. I should probably move him down one, but I'm not gonna. Toby deserves some respect, considering he went from overpaid and hated to loved and fairly paid. It's kind of a weird career for Toby Harris, but hey, man, money was made and success was had. Hartenstein as a club option, I think that's a staying put one. They really look better with Isaiah Hartenstein. When they don't have him out there, it is a big difference between that team and the team with him. Chet at the center just doesn't hold up that well, and rebounding-wise, they need a Hartenstein to clear boards, simply put. He's a hustle rebounder. That floater in the lane is just, he shoots 100% on it. Ihart is a quality-ass player, and if they were to let him walk, I think it would be foolish, just stupid, because there's no need to. He's so good. I know he missed time this year, but again, they look so much better with than without him that there's no reason for them to just say, yeah, we don't want him anymore. Old Jimbo's got a player option. I don't think he's going to make more than $41 million, so I think he should stay put. He's had a couple of good games and a couple of bad games. Just like James Harden in the playoffs you would expect, there's some games where he looks fantastic. There's some games where he's unplayable. James Harden is literally a 50-50 player. What is the weight thing called? I'm not doing that motion again. But he's a pendulum. You either get a good game or a really bad game out of James Harden come playoff time. He's a little bit older too. $40 million is a lot of money for him. That's why I'd expect him to opt in and just take that money. CJ McCollum's an unrestricted free agent. He's not going to get $32 million, but he's going to get paid by somebody, a veteran guard who is a good assist to turnover type of guy, low turnover guard. He makes tough shots. He can help carry the offense when need be. I've been a big CJ McCollum guy for a while now, just because he's a low turnover ball handler. I always like that. Plus, although I know in game 5 and 6, I think it was, or 4 and 5, how many games did that Knicks series go? I think it went 6. I think the last 2 games CJ wasn't great, but at the same time, like, he was damn near the only half-court offense they had. That entire series wasn't a great look. Then there's LeBron. LeBron's going to get paid because he's LeBron James. And some people think he's going to take a pay cut. You must not know LeBron James. Motherfucker doesn't take pay cuts, all right? He'll take like $3 million off. That's the best you're going to get. But it's LeBron. He's going to get paid no matter where he goes, what he wants. I think he's going to stay in LA, personally. If you're asking for my opinion, I'm thinking the Lakers, simply because his son's there, and he seems to really just like living in LA. It's warmer. I mean, he's not going to go to a cold weather state at the age of 45, dude. 45, 40, he's 42, going on to age 42, I think. You can't be waking up in 25-degree Minnesota every day. You're going to feel terrible doing it. So I think I'd expect him to stay in warmer climate. That's LA. That makes sense for me, and plus his son's there, his family's there. He's set up camp there. He's good. He's going to be in LA. That is it for the list. That is it for the video. If you enjoyed, you should like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be around more now. When my upload schedule has been terrible, it'll be better in the future. So going forward, it will be back to normal. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to go catch a game. I'll see you guys in the next one.